This video provides an analysis of radical Hebrew Israelite violence, focusing on the extremist fringe, ideological radicalization, and historical incidents of violence. The threat landscape involves racially motivated violent extremism linked to decentralized interpretations of the Hebrew Israelite doctrine. Primary targets include the Jewish and LGBTQ+ communities and white populations. The evolution of violence has shifted from organized cult-like attacks to modern lone wolf attacks, often inspired by digital radicalization. It is important to distinguish between the mainstream Black Hebrew Israelite movement and the extremist fringe. The mainstream focuses on spiritual identity, while the extremist fringe is classified as Black supremacist and anti-Semitic. Radicalization frequently happens through aggressive street preaching and unchecked social media. The 1960s saw the emergence of the One West camp, introducing aggressive theology. Key developments included the 12 Tribes Chart, connecting Black, Hispanic, and Native people to Israel, and the derogatory term Edomites for white people. This led to a splintered ecosystem of camps. The extremist chosen people doctrine includes the claim that African Americans, Hispanics, and Native Americans are the only true descendants of the biblical Israelites. It propagates an identity theft narrative against Jewish people and uses the phrase synagogue of Satan to label Jews as imposters. About 9% of the U.S. Black population identifies as Hebrew Israelites. Ideological correlates with Hebrew Israelite beliefs include the belief that Jews controlled the transatlantic slave trade and the assertion that Jews are imposters or fake Jews. Radical groups use street preaching as a recruitment and intimidation tool, focusing on provocation, psychological shaming of internal dissenters, and public threats of violence to enforce adherence to their doctrine. The Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, or ISUPK, is a leading group characterized by militaristic dress and extreme rhetoric. Their core rhetoric includes the phrase, "the white man is the devil." They employ aggressive street ministry tactics in major urban centers. Sicarii 1715 is named after the first-century daggermen assassins. Led by guerrilla Hebrew, the group focuses on the militant overthrow of societal structures and the violent reclamation of their land if necessary. In 1974, a BHI student assassinated Alberta Williams King. The Nation of Yahweh was founded in 1981, shifting towards cult-like violence, including initiation murders of members killing apostates in 1986. The leader was arrested in 1990 for RICO violations and murder. The Nation of Yahweh, led by Hulan Mitchell Jr., remains a violent example of BHI extremism. The group had an elite circle called Death Angels, tasked with killing white devils. Mitchell was sentenced to 18 years for conspiracy to commit murder, linked to at least 14 homicides. Social media has become the digital camp for radicalization. Platforms like YouTube host confrontation videos with billions of views, and Facebook groups share Holocaust denial and conspiracy theories. Algorithmic amplification prioritizes this content due to its high engagement. Targeted antisemitism is a fundamental pillar of radical Hebrew Israelite theology, used to validate their status as the true Israelites. High anti-Jewish bias serves as the primary ideological driver. The 2019 Jersey City attack was a domestic terror attack. The perpetrators, David Anderson and Brenda Ramos, targeted a police officer and the JC Kosher supermarket. Anderson expressed BHI beliefs, specifically targeting fake Jews, resulting in 4 innocent lives lost. The Jersey City attackers left a social media manifesto citing synagogue of Satan tropes. They possessed a mobile armory, including a pipe bomb and massive ammunition. Law enforcement confirmed the specific targeting of the Jewish-owned market and clientele. The 2019 Monsey stabbing involved a suspect whose journals referenced the quote, synagogue of Satan and other BHI-inspired anti-Semitic tropes. The incident, an attack at a Hanukkah celebration, was linked to BHI extremist rhetoric through the suspect's personally curated radicalization. The 2021 Waukesha parade attack by Darrell Brooks illustrates decentralized BHI extremism. Brooks posted memes supporting true Israelite ideology and shared anti-Semitic rhetoric. Although the attack coincided with fleeing domestic violence, the radical ideology was a contributing factor. The Southern Poverty Law Center tracks dozens of radical Hebrew Israelite sects as hate groups, classifying them as racially motivated violent extremism. Criteria include advocating for racial segregation and Holocaust denial. Noted groups include ISUPK and Sicarii 1715. Law enforcement counteractions include increased surveillance by the FBI and DHS. RICO charges have historically dismantled organized cells, such as the Nation of Yahweh. Fusion centers facilitate intelligence sharing and community outreach works to denounce the extremist fringe. The threat of radical Hebrew Israelite violence is evolving into a decentralized, digitally fueled phenomenon. Targeted intervention and community resilience are necessary to counter this threat. Resource links for further information are provided here. This scene lists the image sources used in the video, providing necessary citations for the visual elements.